What's up, sports fans, and welcome to the Sports Opinions Podcast. This is your NFL Week 4 picks against the spread with Wally, the Million Lira Man. I am your host, as always, Alex Cuesta. Find me on Twitter and Instagram at @A_Cuesta30. Find Sports Opinions on Twitter at SportsOpinion30, Instagram SportsOpinions30. Go look at the Facebook page and spread the word. Again, with me today, Wally, the Million Lira Man, back again. What is up, Wall?
What's going on?
Again, Wally, where can people find you on social media?
At Million Lira Man.
So, Wally, it's come to my attention that for week 3, we sucked.
Dude, terrible. That was terrible.
I don't know if it was the ambiance that screwed us up. All those beautiful chirping, and I think it might have distracted us because it was such a glorious night.
That was the 3 worst picks I've ever done.
If it wasn't,
I was telling you earlier, if it wasn't for my college football pick on Saturday that I put in, which I took Old Dominion as a live bet plus 1,600, and I won. If it wasn't for that, I probably wouldn't be eating this week.
So, yeah, Wally's doing the smart thing. He's starting us off with the good, so then we can go into the bad, and we're going to jump right into the bad. I'm going to get mine out of the way, and I'm going to give what my locks were and how terrible I was. I had Dallas plus 1.5 going to Seattle. I should have known that the 12th man is going to do what they do, and Dallas is going to shit the bed in a win-win situation. Seattle ended up winning that one 24-13, no cover there. I had Green Bay -3 against Washington, which should have been a friggin' lock. I have no idea what they were doing. Alex Smith goes nuts in the first half. Green Bay loses 31-17. Obviously, they don't cover.
That was crazy.
Stupid. It was stupid. It didn't make sense. It annoyed me. And then Cincy, I had Cincy +3 going into Carolina. Cincy's been throwing the ball well. Andy Dalton looked good. He fought back, but Carolina got on top of them early. They won 31-21. Again, no cover there. And I had my Jets pick. I had the Jets +3 against the Browns, and they were a point away from covering, but like the Jets do, they lose by 4 points. So 21-17, Cleveland ended up getting their first win in 625 days, I think. Embarrassment for the Jets. What else is new? Well, we just talked about my terrible week. Do you remember who you had last week?
I don't have it written down in front of me.
All right, I'll go over it because
I know I had the Patriots.
Yeah, Patriots -6.5.
Patriots and the Jets.
The Patriots -6.5, and in very un-Patriot-like fashion, they get dismantled. Absolutely dismantled by the Lions. I don't know what was going on in that game. 26-10, the Lions came away with the win, so obviously no cover there. You had the Jets at +3. You even bought it up to 3.5 to hedge your bet, and the Jets lose by 0.5 point for you there.
I know, that really pissed me off.
Typical Jets fashion. And then you had, same thing as me, Packers -3. You dropped it down to 2.5 because of your confidence level, and they screwed you.
Yeah.
So that drops. Overall, I was 0-4 on the week. I'm 2-11 on the year. So don't listen to me. But Wally,
it's gonna happen, man.
It's tough. I'll turn it around. I know football too well not to turn it around, so I'll turn it around. But you, even with your 0-3, you're still 6-5 on the year, so you're in a positive, and you're going to be more positive this week. I assure anyone listening, anyone that takes what we have to say seriously, we're both going to be better because, God, we can't get any worse. So, well, we're going to start. We do like to do our big games. They don't count against us, but we like to talk about them because, like I say, they're usually difficult to do, but they also are fun, and people do bet on the hard games just because they're psychos. So I'm going to start on the first one. It's the game going down Thursday night. It is Minnesota, the Vikings, who did not look like themselves. Kirk Cousins was awful last week, but he's going into LA playing the Rams. The Rams are favored -7 here. The Rams are possibly the best team in football right now. That defense is unbelievable. The offense can score. I kind of like -7 against a Minnesota team that's trying to find their identity. What about you?
I do like the Rams, but I think the Vikings defense is going to be tough for the Rams. I think they're going to give Jared Goff a good run for his money. I think it's going to be tough for them. Like I said, I think the Rams are one of the best team in the NFL right now, I would say. they're the team to beat. And I think it's going to be a close game. I don't think it's going to be that 6.5 as they think it's going to be. I mean, the NFL's been crazy the last 2 weeks, man. I mean, these games that you think are a lock, like a lock of the century.
Like Green Bay.
Lock of the century. They get blown out, you know?
Yeah,
so
it's
that's
tough.
why I'm staying away from this game. But, I mean, I do like the Rams. I don't know if they're going to cover, but I think they'll get the win.
I like the Rams to win, but again, like you said, NFL's been nuts. Again, I'm with you at not betting on this game. If I had the option, it was sitting in front of me, I wouldn't bet on it. I like the Rams to win. I think the defense is going to be the difference because I think you're right. Minnesota defense is going to give Goff some trouble, even though he's stepped up in the face of every single trouble, and Todd Gurley is legitimately a friggin' monster. But I also think that the Rams defense is really good, and Kirk Cousins might end up throwing a pick six in this game. I think defense will score for the Rams, and that might be where they get that -7 from. So,
also an interesting stat is the Rams are 3-0 against the. The Vikings are 3-0 against the Rams in the last 3 games, covering the spread against the spread. So.
Oh, there you go. So gambling people.
They cover the spread.
So if
the last 3 games they played. If
you're gonna read into that. And if you are a betting man, betting woman, bet Minnesota because they cover it against the Rams.
Big games. See, if you're a true degenerate, you wouldn't do that. You would do the opposite because you're going to say, well, that's 3-0. You know, they're due for a loss. See, that's the way I'm thinking because my brain is a fucking mush. And I'm automatically thinking that, they covered last 3 games. They're not going to cover this time. Take Rams. And then I'm going to lose my money. So don't listen to me.
But I'm going to quickly throw in a wrench because we haven't talked about over-under a lot. But I think it'll be interesting for these types of games because this game, for all intents and purposes, should be high scoring. The over-under on this one's 49.5.
Yeah.
I think that's actually low for these two teams. I'm always an over guy. If you're going to bet the over-under, you bet the over. That's the way I feel. Betting the under, I think, is stupid. But I think for this game, I like betting the over.
I'm going to stay away from that.
You're just going to avoid that completely?
Like the over. Because you're thinking about it has to be, will be, let's say if it's 50, that's 25 points each. I could see it being like a 30-something to a 21 game,
Yeah. Yeah. It's tough. Over-under.
They both got weapons.
Over-under looks easy, but it really isn't because it's really tough to predict, especially with the way games go, who the hell's going to do what. So it's not easy, but I'm pretty much, if you're going to bet it, you bet the over. I'm always an over guy, really, if I'm ever going to do it. So, rolling.
So, what's the next game that you got?
Yep, I'm rolling right into that. Baltimore at Pittsburgh, divisional rival. Big game for both teams. Ravens have looked good. Besides that one stinker against the Bengals on, I think it was a Monday night game last week, they look good. They're 2-1 on the season. Steelers are 1-1. They have some turbulence going. Le'Veon Bell definitely is not coming back to this team at this point, and if he does, he's not staying. Antonio Brown has some things going on. That defense is really shaky. To me, the Steelers are home. They're favored -3. This one is one that I would completely stay away from because you never know. But with these two and in this division, what the hell's going to happen? I'd avoid it like the plague.
Is this in Pittsburgh?
Yup, it's in Pitt.
I mean, I like the Steelers at home.
I like no one in the NFC, and I mean the AFC North, because they just muck it up and beat the hell out of each other. So I think that's why Vegas.
If these two teams are playing, I'm taking Steelers at home.
Yeah, you usually go with the home team, but I think this is why Vegas, if you look at these lines typically, they're either right around that -3 or pick 'em realm, because you can't tell. Even when the Browns come to play, you never know what this division is going to do to each other.
Like I said, I like buying the points. I would probably buy it to -2.5. Or I would love to see what the money line is.
Do you have that in front of you at all there?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. The money line for that game is -195. I mean, it's a little high.
Yeah.
Maybe throw that in a parlay if you want to do a parlay with them. But I think the Steelers come away with the win.
I wouldn't doubt the Steelers come away with the win, but I would just avoid actually betting on this game. And we talked about over-under for last game. This over-under is 51. I would avoid this because my heart tells me to go with the under here with these two teams because just the way they muck it up and beat the hell out of each other. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't even touch that because I think that's really high for these two teams.
With no Le'Veon Bell playing and the turmoil that's going on in Pittsburgh, I don't know. I don't like it.
Yep, nope. So I wouldn't play this game, but I think we're both in agreement. If we had the pick, we'd probably go Pittsburgh to cover.
Yeah.
So our final big game of the week is Kansas City -5 going into Denver. Kansas City is the darling of the NFL. Patty Mahomes is unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. I've been wrong about him every step of the way, and he's changing my mind. He really is. Kareem Hunt is starting to come back. He's really starting to get it in going. Hill is possibly, if Patty Mahomes wasn't doing what he's doing, Tyreek Hill is the MVP of the NFL, which is what he's doing out of the wide receiver position. So it is, well, actually, Khalil Mack's probably the MVP of the NFL, but he's on a bad team. Anyway, but this game, how can you not pick Kansas City to cover right now with just how many points they've been putting up?
At minus 4.5.
Yeah, how can you not pick them?
Here's the thing. I think Kansas City wins the game. And I think that Kansas City's definitely going to win by a touchdown. They're not going to win by a field goal. The way Patrick Mahomes is playing, he's going to throw a touchdown. He's going to probably throw 6 touchdowns. The guy's, it's insane. Absolutely insane.
It's crazy, and it's crazy to think that a team with Bradley Chubb, the rookie that was picked up by Denver, a team with Von Miller, nobody seems to be scared of this Denver defense anymore. No one's scared of them. It's not like they come in and it's like, oh man, we're going to get sacked 6 times today. No one cares.
Yeah.
Because even if you do get sacked 5 times, that's secondary Swiss cheese. So you're still going to score 4 touchdowns at least through the air, and they don't buckle up in the red zone. This team is not great, and they rely on Case Keenum to really score almost every single possession. So it's tough sailing. This was close to being in my locks, but I decided because it was a big game, I wasn't going to lock it in. But I would 100%.
This was going to be one of my locks too, but then I decided not to because it is in Denver.
Yeah. The Mile High, the fans get up for that. But I would take the minus 4.5, minus 5, whatever it's sitting at right now. I would 100%. If I'm a gambling man, I buy Kansas City minus whatever the hell it is.
Just because it's Kansas City.
Yeah.
The way they've been playing.
Yeah.
If they didn't play the way they played last week, I would. But then again, last week, though, if Jimmy G didn't get hurt, I think the 49ers would have won that game.
They had a chance to win, but in terms of it's I don't know if Andy Reid kind of took the pedal off the metal, though. I really don't. I don't think that they would have. If they would have seen Jimmy Garoppolo really go the way he is, they stopped throwing those deeper routes. They really went to shorter. They didn't go with the intermediates. The creativity wasn't as creative as we see an Andy Reid offense do. I really think Andy Reid kind of went conservative just because he felt the pulse of the game and knew that they probably would have ran out of time to beat them. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I'm an Andy Reid guy. I always have been. I know he gets flack. I think the dude is an absolute offensive savant, and he's a great coach. I would go as far as say great coach. So.
Yeah, he's a great coach. I would say he's a great coach.
Yeah, so we're going to move on. We are going to jump right into our locks of the week. Wal, you want to do the honors of giving your first 3 locks?
All right. So, let's see here. I'm going to start off. Oh, let's start off with the 1 o'clock games.
Okay.
I like the Jaguars against the Jets.
After last week, we shouldn't.
Jaguars are -7.
Yep.
Easy win.
Probably.
Easy win.
You're probably right, because I think, I don't know if the Jets, the defense is good, but they're going to get tired again because Darnold is going to be, he's going to be really confused against a really, really good Jaguars defense, possibly the best in the NFL. We might see some picks out of him, some short field stuff with some turnovers.
Absolutely.
I think that the Jaguars starting field position is probably going to be...
There's definitely going to be a pick 6 in there.
And I think the Jaguars are just going to have starting field position around their own 35, around their own 40, because I think it's going to be, even if the Jets defense does a good job, it's going to be, they're going to pin the Jets down by their 10, by their 15, like has been happening. And then 3 and out, punt again. It's going to be a defensive battle early that's going to eventually wear the Jets down. So I could definitely see the -7.
I was also looking at the over and under on that. The over is 38.5.
That's it could definitely happen because the Jets have been good for at least 17 points a game. So it's not
when
a
you
bad.
look at that, there's a reason why it's at 38.5. You get what I'm saying? Every game, that's actually the lowest scoring. They have that. That's the lowest game.
Well, yeah, they're saying a rookie quarterback is not going to be able to score against the league's best defense.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they're telling you.
And I agree with that.
I tend to agree, but I also know that the Jets have home run capability. It's not out of their realm. One of the main issues Jets fans have right now is Jeremy Bates is calling a really conservative style of play. He's not unleashing Terrell Pryor. He's not unleashing Robbie Anderson down the field. Isaiah Crowell can hit a home run. He's good for that. That's basically been his value for the Jets. So that goes on the shoulders of Jeremy Bates not coordinating. He's coordinating out of fear. I think if he just needs to throw some deep passes, and they have that ability to break a game open with that style. It's been the play calling for the Jets that's been a real detriment to them this year.
Is Fournette playing?
I don't think Fournette's playing. I think it's T.J. Yeldon, but T.J. Yeldon's still very serviceable. He's a talented dude.
Yeah, but I think that could be also the reason why they have it at 38.5.
Possibly. There's definitely that good chance that it's that low because of that.
But even regardless, I still think that the Jaguars' defense is way better than the Jets' offense. So
can agree with that.
You don't agree with that?
No, I can agree with that completely. I agree. But you know what, though? Me agreeing that the Jets are going to lose is always a good thing as a Jets fan. That means that they're going to make me happy somehow. They only make me happy when I'm already depressed. They do something good when I don't expect it. Always.
Next game, I got Miami Dolphins against New England Patriots.
The Wally Bowl.
This is a no-brainer right here. Easiest pick. I already actually put money on the game and bought it when the line was 6, because the line is now at 7. Was at 7.5. Now it's 7. But I got it at the beginning of the week at 6. Patriots -6. Easy. At home. Tom Brady's going to go nuts. He's going to the Dolphins are not a 4-0 team. They're not going to win 4 games in a row. It's just not going to happen.
Wally's picking his new favorite team against his old favorite team.
Listen, I told you before, it's not about having a favorite team. It's about making money.
Yeah.
That's really it. I'm going to pick whatever team is going to make me the money.
I can agree with you. I can agree with you on this. I think that an angry Tom Brady, an angry New England team that got embarrassed by a team that got destroyed by the Jets, which I think really turns their guts even more.
Josh Gordon's first game.
And
I also think an extra week to prepare.
I also think the factor is, too, this Dolphins team, as much as they're playing well, they deserve these wins. They deserve credit for being 3-0. They remind me of the Bills a few years back when the Bills started off, I think, 3-0, 4-1. But it's like, who did they play? They didn't play anybody. The Dolphins really haven't played anyone of note.
No.
So it's really, credit them. They're 3-0. I'm not taking away the fact that they're 3-0. They played good football. Tannehill looks good. Stills looks really good. Kenyon Drake is running the ball well. Yada, yada, yada. This is their first test, and it's at Gillette Stadium, and it's going to be an angry Tom Brady, angry New England fans who...
You know the last time the Patriots went 1-2? They ended the season with being 12-4. So...
And there's angry New England fans knowing that if the Yankees get past the A's in the wild card, they're going to lose in the divisional round. Ha-ha!
What's that?
If the New England fans are also angry because if they know that if the Yankees win the wild card game, they're going to beat their Red Sox in the divisional round. So they're already pissed off. I have to throw in my baseball a little bit.
Yeah.
So
I'm concentrating on football right now.
What's your final pick here?
So the final pick is... Where'd it go? Oh, Texans money line.
Texans money line. What do you got with the Texans money line? You taking them to win it all against the Colts?
Yep. So I think they're gonna win outright. I think the line is -1.5.
Yeah, overall.
Can't find it.
It's Colts -1.5.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, Colts -1.5. I think Texans are gonna win. I think they're gonna. What are they? 0-3.
They're 0-3. They're due for a win. The Colts haven't really been finding ways to keep leads. Andrew Luck looks rusty. That team is not very good. So
I think Texans definitely come away with the win. They're due for a win. 0-3 against the Colts. Easy pick.
Book it. All right, so that moves. So we got Wally.
3-0 this week.
You better. We'll recap Wally real quick. He has the Pats -6 against the Dolphins. He has the Jags -7 against the Jets, and he's taking the Texans money line for the win over the Colts. So we're gonna go on to my locks. I need some wins because, like I said, I'm sitting at 2-11 on the year, so I need some wins here in the worst way. I have Cincinnati +5.5 against Atlanta, going into Atlanta, which I know seems like a dumb pick. It really does. But Atlanta has been giving away leads left and right. They win game. If they win a game, they're 1-2 right now. And they win games by holding on. They don't win games by dominating like they should.
Is Atlanta home?
Atlanta's home. But that defense is awful. That defense is awful, and the second half game plans for Atlanta have literally just been hang on. It hasn't been win. It's been hang on. And you saw they should have beaten New Orleans last week. New Orleans storms back and beats them in overtime. They should have beaten the Eagles. They played like crap in that week. And then I forget who they played in week 2, but I think it was they were up by like almost 20, and they ended up giving it back, almost losing that game. So it's something where Cincinnati has the weapons. I think A.J. Green is going to be healthy. I know he went down, but I think A.J. Green's going to be ready to play. Cincinnati has the weapons to compete with Atlanta, and I think Cincinnati can shock them and beat them. So I definitely am going to pick Cincinnati +5.5. I think even if Atlanta wins this game, they're going to give the points back, and Cincinnati's going to cover.
I don't hate it, but I don't love it.
I mean, it's tough to pick against a home team in a dome that plays really well in their dome. I get it. With all the firepower that they have. It's a weird lock. I'll give it that.
So what do you got next going on there?
Next game, I have the Chargers covering -10 against San Francisco. San Francisco's reeling. They're reeling.
This game.
Yeah, they lost their franchise quarterback for the season to a torn ACL and Jimmy Garoppolo. CJ Beathard is a nice player, I guess. He has physical. He's more of a runner. He has a decent arm. He played okay last year, but he wasn't great. Phillip Rivers is pissed. He knows that they should be in better position. If Joey Bosa's back, I think he has a chance of being back this week. They're going to wreak havoc. They're home. They're going to kick the crap out of San Francisco. I think this -10 is an easy cover for them.
Yeah, no, this was on one of the, I had like 5 games that I was debating on.
Yeah.
Kansas City was one, and this was the other one too. And, I love the Chargers here.
Yeah, I think Chargers are an easy cover. And then my final one, I have Cleveland +2.5 going into Oakland. Oakland's in disarray. Their defense is awful. Gruden can't find the pulse. David Carr doesn't look as good as he should. And I think Cleveland's just energized with Baker Mayfield. And he likes Jarvis Landry. He finds the weapons. He spreads the ball around. He gets himself out of trouble. I think +2.5 is an easy cover for them. I think they can go into Oakland and win that game. Flat out. So I like Cleveland +2.5 going into Oakland.
I don't. I have to disagree there. I like the Raiders there in that spot.
So why do you like the Raiders over there?
Because I think Baker Mayfield is going to, it's his second game. I think he's going to have a tough time against a team like the Raiders. Who did the Browns play last week? The Jets, right?
They played the Jets, and they were losing up until Mayfield came in the second half. I
get it, but he had like that. Look at Darnold in his first game. He had a great game, and then what happened?
The second game he played well. The play calling was bad, and the defense gave up points.
I don't know. I like the Raiders. That's what I'm going with. That's what my gut's telling me. That wasn't on my list of games, so I really didn't look into it. But if I had to choose, I'd pick the Raiders. I don't agree with that.
See, but look what I've taught you already. I've taught you to go with your gut. In just 4 weeks of doing this with me, you've learned something.
Yeah.
All right, and
I went with my gut. All right, here's a little story time.
Oh boy, let's do it.
So Saturday, I'm watching college football. Throwing, just like small little bets here and there. So my daughter, Charlotte, she's 3 years old. She comes over, goes to the TV, points to the team, and says, "Daddy, this team's gonna win." I'm not kidding you. Like, I swear to you, this is exact thing happened. She walked to the TV, pointed, she says, like, "Daddy, that team's gonna win," and then walks away, starts playing with her dolls again. Do you know what team that was?
Old Dominion.
That was Old Dominion, and it was right before half. They were losing. I jump on, look at the line. The live bet was plus 1,600. So I'm like, you know what? Whatever. I think I was up like $50 for the day. I threw 100 on the live line. Ended up winning. That's what saved my week because I put a lot of money on those 3 picks that I gave for last week, and all 3 of them lost. So ended up breaking out even, but went with my daughter's pick, man.
So why don't you should have her sit on your lap and just pick every game for you.
Well, you want to hear something funny? I bought those little helmets.
Yeah.
And I make her pick which team. I put the 2 helmets together. And just tell her to pick one. And I don't point to them. I just say pick one, and she'll pick it. And so far, I think she lost with the Jets and the Browns. I made her pick, and I think she took the Jets.
Well, it's because the Browns' helmets are ugly. I don't blame her. All right, so we're going to finish off with my Jets pick, and I agree with you, Wally. Jacksonville all the way. Jacksonville, I think their line right now, are they at -7.5 right now?
I think they're -7.
-7. Regardless, Jacksonville is the better team. They are pissed because they lost last week in a game they should not have lost. I think they lost to the Titans 9-6. It was a stupid game. But they lost in a game they shouldn't have lost. They're angry. That defense is angry. They played well enough to win. Blake Bortles is going to get back on track. He had a great 2 games. He should pick it back up for game week number 4 here. And I like the Jags -7 over my New York Jets.
That's your last pick, or?
That is my final. That's a Jets pick. That's the final pick. Wally, this is over too soon, isn't it?
Yeah.
Brings a tear to the eye.
I can't believe we're in week 4 already.
Ridiculous, right? It's crazy how quickly the year is moving on already. It feels like the summer and we were waiting on preseason to finish like just yesterday.
Yeah. I feel like preseason took forever. I felt like preseason was like 2 months, like it was just so long.
Are you ready for 18 games?
Is that what they're going to do next year?
Oh, they're not going to take away 2 preseason games and not monetize somehow. They're not going to lose money. Preseason games make money either way. So they're not going to lose that money. They're just going to triple their money by putting 2 more regular season games. They're never going to give away money. They're not dumb people. So that's obviously what's going to happen. Everyone calls for taking away 2 preseason games. That's all well and dandy, but the owners are not going to lose that money ever. So they're going to add 2 more games to the end of the season. So people are going to be pissed anyway. But all right.
That probably moves the Super Bowl to like end of February.
Well, no, because if they just start the season 2 weeks earlier, there you go.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
All right. So with that ends this episode of Sports Opinions Podcast. NFL Week 4 picks against the spread with Wally, the Million Lira Man. Wow. Where can people find you on social media again?
At Million Lira Man. I haven't been that active lately because of the kids and life, but I'll try to get on this week and throw some picks in.
Yeah, you'll find them there on Twitter. Follow him. If he throws a pick up, bet it. I am Alex Cuesta, your host. Find me on Twitter and Instagram, _Cuesta30. Find Sports Opinions on Twitter at SportsOpinion30, Instagram SportsOpinions30. Visit the Facebook page and listen to us on all the amazing outlets we have everywhere. Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Play Music, Apple Podcast, Spreaker, and YouTube. Wally, as always, thanks again. We will talk again next week, and hopefully we'll both be 3-0. This is the Sports Opinions Podcast. Have a good one.